Hello again. Bet you didn't miss this wretched voice, but today on Side Hustle Showcase, that's the name, right? We're talking about these guys. Okay, gonna be real, I haven't the slightest clue what these are, but they're neat. I want to talk about them. That's fair. In the end of the day, it's a free country. So let's start by establishing what these are, because then we might learn more about them and eventually be able to recite these guys like obese people with the Burger King menu. So they're robots. Then again, what is nowadays? AI is taking everything over now. But what category of robot? Are these Transformers? Obscure G1 characters, maybe? Well, no. Maybe these are characters from an anime. Probably characters relevant to a part of a TV show. That has got to be it, right? Oh, come on. Alright. Maybe they're a part of a video game. Like, they're drones or something. Like, what? Seriously? Okay, well, they're Gundams, I guess. That's gotta be the answer. But how? Okay, I've got it. They're Power Rangers related. That has to be... Wait, that's not right. But they fit so well. Don't lose drag. At least leave it there. Oh, come on. Well, I'm out of ideas. So a GoBot? That has to be right at this point. Like, they fit so well. Oh, fuff. Alright, what these are called? They're actually called Gakken. Gakken? Gammon? I mean, I'm quite hungry. I could probably go eat some gammon right now. No. These are Gakken robots. They're old and were mostly seen on the other side of in the lands of AliExpress and piloted mechs. Makes sense. And their purpose is to help kids in school. Yes, school. Yes, school. Ooh, wow! Okay, before you leave and hang your clothes, at least let me explain how these help you in school. That sounds fair, at least. These guys have built-in things you'd find at school, like a flip-up rubber and a sharpener. Really cool little things considered. They pose okay and they're quite weird. Grab while you can, review over, yada yada yada. Right then, I just gotta finish off that. It's Gojo versus Chainsaw Man stop motion. I probably just have to Google up sound voices on there from the animes. It wouldn't be that hard.
You have more crack money.
I will smack you. Go back to the Shadow Realm. You will disappoint yourself. This video was only 3 minutes. Well, I guess I'll tell you when I got them. Surprisingly, I didn't get them both at once. There was actually quite a time gap between them. Surprise! I actually got this one here in a lot back in April. I think it was April. Same lot that I got the Grimlock you're seeing now. How incredibly neat. And I saw this one in a vintage shop. And then I bought it on eBay. There's a third member to this trio. A pen robot. But sadly I haven't found him yet. You might think with these guys being old that their posing is ass. But you'd be wrong. Allow me to demonstrate. So these little guys actually do have quite a good amount of articulation considering when they come out. Like, I mean, it's not something like this, but it isn't actually this. So it's actually like a hybrid. I'll show you what I mean. And I'll be articulating with this one, because I've got a story about him later, I'll tell. This guy. So, they don't have head movement, unless you have this one, in which case you can do that. But they move around the arms, they don't go out, they do bend at the elbow. Pretty cool. And they do have waist rotation. And then they have pretty good decent legs, depending on where they are. Turning off your copy's fine, which if they're rusty or screwed, they do move that forward and back fine. And they have knees. But yeah, they're not bad. You will see they're not bad compared to some G1. Like some G1 figures pose pretty much the same. Like they have a slight bit more movement in the actual G1 Prime. Better legs, better waist. That's it. Hey, like I said, it's not just like G1 Grimlock, for example. You can just do that. And if you want to be weird, just like that. But it's not like this either, where they've got like ankle tilts, thigh swivels, bicep swivel, or ball jointed elbows. Head movement, you get the gist. Not bad for the time. So this review is over, right? They don't transform unless you count the eraser guy with head breaking his spine. But I do want to share some information on these guys with you. So this is the pen guy that I was on about. As you can clearly see, he's like way taller than the rest. Like he's roughly a whole torso taller than the eraser guy. But he does have the same head as the sharpener guy, which is pretty unique in my opinion. If you're wondering where his little gadget is kept, it's kept within his feet. And from what I'm estimating, you'd like fold his feet down and then you'd like push the pen out or something. Probably be a pain in the ass to replace the ink in it though, wouldn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't got it yet, but I probably will let you know if I do. Probably for a short or something, whenever I get it. If I find it, this seems like a nightmare to find, aren't they? There also appears to be variants. By the looks of it, the eraser guy, the pen guy, and the sharpener guy can have variants. While they're not quite the same as the ones I've got here, they can have variants, which is quite surprising, to me at least. There also appears to be variants with different tool lengths. Like the sharpener one here, having a different head and a slight changes to the torso to make it have more cube features. Same can be said for the sharpener as well. It's hard to tell, but he has different torso shapings. He's more of a hexagon now. And it's clearly clear that these changes don't actually affect the gimmick. He can still open this little hatch on his chest. And that is all the info that I personally have. And you'll assume now that the review's over. But I want to make it interesting. So let me tell you how the sharpener robot broke in an irreparable state, and you never ever noticed. So what broke? Well, his leg. His right leg sheared off about a couple months ago. But that leads to the question, how is it still on? He's clearly standing fine, as you can see the push test is surviving him. So how is he standing? So this tragic event happened quite a while back. I think it was around July it happened. So what happened, I was basically playing the WD-40 fix, and that's where you take a G1 toy with a tight part, you put it on the screw, slightly move it back and forth until it loosens up, and it's nice and easy to move. You know, so these guys can actually function. Now, a question I can absolutely guarantee you all have is, why would I try to fix this thing? Because, like, these things aren't something you want to pose around. Like, why would you want to pose them around? They're meant to just stand there and look cute, because they're vintage and they're rare. I honestly don't know. Looking back, I don't really know why I did it. But honestly, it's kind of nice seeing how smoothly they move now. It's like they're perfectly aged. Aged like a fine wine, if you will. So I'm not personally mad, but as you can clearly tell, the eraser guy had the fix, and he's fine. I moved him. You saw him move perfectly fine in the articulation segment. Sharpener boy wasn't so lucky. Upper half was completely fine. The lower half, when I did his leg, it sheared the peg inside the leg. So, to explain how it works, I unscrewed the thing when I was fixing it to figure out how it worked. So the leg is built off a peg system. There's a peg that's connected to the crotch that sticks out, kind of like, it's kind of like a car with like a pipe going through it, and you hook the legs on, and then you screw it in, and that's how it moves. Simple. So when I opened it up to see what had actually happened, inside it was so tight that the peg that was connected to, well, the leg, sheared off and cracked it down the middle. So it broke. It's in two parts. So yeah, that was fun. So what did you think I would think to do? I think, okay, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to glue the peg back together. I'm going to glue the peg back onto the leg. I'm then going to shimmy the leg back on and screw it in, and it'll still be able to move. Seems like a very easy fix. It probably would have helped the thing, actually. And I nearly had it. Emphasis on nearly. Turns out that the glue that I use didn't help. Heads up, don't use Gorilla Glue. I think that's obvious. Don't use Gorilla Glue. I know, I learned the hard way. Don't use Gorilla Glue. Whatever you do, don't buy that shit. It's bad. Anyways, so I tried fixing it. I tried gluing it in place. The peg did glue back together, and it did glue on the leg for a while, but the glue on the leg wasn't good. So when you tried to shove the leg on, it was too tight. So to slide it on, I would have cut the peg off. So I redid it, and I redid it, and I redid it, until there's just a massive, like, mess on the crotch and the peg. So I thought, okay, I'll just sand the glue off, and I'll be fine. And I sanded the glue off. It was completely fine there. And I thought, okay, I'll try and glue it back together because it broke again. But this time, the Gorilla Glue had fused it to the thing. So now you've got a leg that's sheared off the body with a half a peg sticking out of it that can't be glued back on. So I'm thinking, oh, what the hell do I do here? And I was quite frankly hopeless. So I put him in a tub, set him to the side for a couple of weeks in hopes that I could someday fix him. either a month or 3 weeks after, I went up to it and I thought, let's try again. I grabbed a metal rod. I thought, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a metal rod. I'm going to slide that through the leg where the screw hole is, link it to the torso, slide the thing on, and make that work. Seemed like a smart idea, right? No, it was not. The glue I tried to use, when it came to gluing it, it glued the metal to the inside of the peg. So I was able to take out the screw hole, luckily. But I was able to take out the crotch, but they were still stuck in the leg. And so I had to pull it out, yank it out. And a bit got lodged in there. So now we've got a leg with half a peg sticking out, a mess of glue up the front, and a piece of metal stuck in it. So I couldn't screw it in. So that was just me being idiotic, really. So I cut my losses, put it back in that tub, and it sat like that for 4 months. It hurt me every day. Every day it hurt me because I loved the thing. But one day I figured it what I was doing. I took that screw that originally caused it harm, and I screwed it in. It's got a point at the end, so I was able to use the screw to drill a hole through there. Through the busted metal that's been fused to the plastic, through the glue, through all the crappiness, all of it. Gone. Shebang. So, what did I do then, you may ask? It's simple. I didn't use glue. I took that peg which was stuck there, I took the brave move and I sanded it down flat. I sanded that peg down all the way to the leg so it will look normal. And I then, because I know that other screw won't work, because there's a hole in the torso, I grabbed a slightly longer screw. Same size, smidge longer. So I then screwed it in, and got it into the torso, and got it in there. And with pure friction, it stayed in place. I give it a shake, it's still in there. The leg moves fine, as you can see. It does worry me because it's held in there by a little bit of screw, but it's working. He's displayable. He's posable. This is exactly what I said to do. So with that, I fixed the irreparable, basically. I mean, professional could have probably fixed it, but like, name a professional you know nearby. Exactly. Can't think of one. So, yeah. If you ever have like this thing, and for some reason one of the legs like that, you've somehow gone into that mess, I recommend trying that. It worked on me, it might work on yours. And wow, that story took it right to the threshold. I kind of meant to go. I'm over 10 minutes. Ad revenue, though I don't actually have ad revenue. And that's this little history lesson on the Gakken school robots. That's probably not their name, but I don't frankly care. These guys are amazing. Super fun, super nifty. I recommend them. Just not for a modern collection. Vintage collections would welcome these greatly. But how much should you pay for them? I haven't a clue. There's barely any info on these guys, so if you find them for a price that works for you, go for it. But hey, that's for you to decide. Thanks for spending God knows how long of your time watching some idiot talk about child toys. Have a good day and we'll go see if anyone's accepting my offers on eBay. Adios.